G'day and welcome back to Pasco's Garage. I've got a little 3 video series for you. These are 3 cars that I used to own, so a 1989 944, a 1979 911 SC and a 1966 Ford Mustang. So all 3 of these cars have been through Pasco's Garage. I've got a lot of photos and documentation of the repairs that were done, all types of different varying repairs, engine rebuilds, restorations, so I hope you enjoy it. So this is my 944 1989 model, 2.7 litre automatic, in quite good condition, quite low Ks. So I had a bit of an oil leak from the auto, so I removed that from the back of the car. Here it is on my little trolley jack, diff and auto all in one. You can see here right at the very back of the auto, there's a solenoid there that's leaking quite badly. I just had an O-ring in there. Just here I've got it circled. So basically you just push it in as per this arrow here, and then remove the circlip, remove the O-ring. It's got a big spring behind it, and then replace the O-ring and fix the oil leak. The next thing was to try and address the clacking noise. So I thought there was lifters, so I put a set of lifters in it, but trying to get this cam box off, I broke one of my Allen key broke in the actual bolt head, and I had to actually cut the side of the box to get the bolt undone. Anyhow, I did that, put the lifters in, and that made no difference. So removed the cylinder head and had a look inside the bores, and I found there was quite a bit of scratching. So decided to remove the engine. Remove the subframe, lower the engine from underneath the car, and inspect the car a fair bit further. Now this is the donut. It's a vulcanized rubber dampener that goes to the torque tube that goes to the back of the car. You can see the flywheel, the balance shafts and the engine mount. Here's the 2 balance shafts with the cam belt in the middle. There's the oil cooler and oil filter housing and one of the balance shafts. And I've got the block now mounted up on an engine stand. And I start stripping the whole block down to get it down to a workable level. This is what the oil cooler looks like on the other side, just an O-ring which then bolts to the block. Here you see 4-bolt main on a 4-cylinder engine, quite amazing piece of engineering from Porsche, and a cradle. So here I can see a little bit of scuffing on the number 2 cylinder. I thought that's pretty weird. So I thought I need to pull out the pistons to see what's going on. And here you can see number 2 piston is missing all the coating on the side of the piston. The other 3 pistons are fine. And here's a close-up. You can see it's like foil coating, and that's all come off. And here it is. Where is there? It's in the sump. It's in the bottom of the sump, the coating. So here you can see the damage is actually done to the bore. And that damage is quite significant, and you can feel it with your fingernail. Once I pulled out the crankshaft, I had a look at all the bearings, and they all look really good. And as you can see from the inside the engine, it's actually quite clean, so it has been well looked after, this engine. So I stripped the block right down, clean it all up, and get ready to get it sent out. See, I could buy an oversized piston, and the piston was the actual same weight as the original pistons. So I bought one of these pistons, so I've got the balance shafts out. I've ordered all my parts, new rings, bearings, belts, all the gaskets. So I send the block away to get machined, and it has to go through a special lapping process to bring out the coating in the bores. They've got a special coating inside the bores, in the aluminium bores. So you can see the orange Loctite. I bolt the cradle back on, that 4-bolt main, bolt that cradle back together, put the sump back on the car as well with all the new bearings, the oil filter housing, balance shafts, housings. And here you can just see a little bit of the orange Loctite. They don't have many gaskets on these engines, it's all just this Loctite sealant. Line all the pistons up on top dead center. So number 2 is a new one right in the middle. Put all the ancillaries back on the front of the engine, balance shafts. Here you can see once again the other side of the balance shaft, all the brackets there, it's all stuff. Put the belts back on, line them up properly so all the timing's all right with the balance shafts. Now I put the engine back into the car and then refit the subframe to the car as well. See, it's all nice and clean now and bolted up, ready to work on the top half of the car. I didn't have an engine crane to be able to do this. Cylinder head, I checked it was perfectly flat, so new head gasket and bolt that back on. I just got all the ports covered up, just while I'm doing other work. the head bolted down and torqued down to spec, and there's the engine all back together. And now I'm ready to get the engine started. So here is the first start. As you can see, I've got the bleed screw out of the top of the engine, so a bit of coolant goes everywhere. Quickly screw that back in and get ready to top up the coolant. So I did have this engine winding over to get all pressure before I started it, and I'd primed the fuel system as well. I'd turned the key on and off and on and off a few times, and yeah, it started like it just been sitting there brand new. I must say I did have the battery charger on this while everything was out of the car, and charged to make sure it was fully charged. So as you can see in this video, Porsche do a lot of engineering. It's amazing to see that 4-bolt main in this engine. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little short video about my 944. The next video will be about my 1979 911 SC. I did a lot of work to this car, so I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.